everybody. I'm Garrett Rush. I'm the Director of Content Marketing here at Idea Grove. And joining me today on the call is Liz Cies, our VP of PR. And Liz is actually the longest tenured non-owner employee at the company. I am the second longest tenured non-owner employee at the company. So Liz and I have actually been working together for quite a while. And Liz, I have a notebook that I use where I keep a lot of ideas for Idea Grove content for our blog, for long-form downloadable pieces we might want to create. And the other day I was going through that notebook looking for ideas to plan out our blog for the summer. And I came across an idea that I'd written down. And the kind of catchy headline was the most underutilized piece of punctuation in B2B content marketing is the percent sign. And that got me thinking as I was sort of trying to plan that piece out a little more, that there's a whole other aspect to that story that we need to be telling. And that's the importance of original data and its use in PR. And so I was wondering if you could kind of just from a PR perspective, why is original data important?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's something that I guess B2B tech brands don't always think about when they're building their external stories. But data is really important for several reasons. First of all, it really helps you back up your claims with media. Journalists are naturally skeptical, which you would know as a former journalist, and they're trained to really question statements and dig deeper into claims. So original data helps brands substantiate everything from the importance of your differentiators to proving to the market that you're truly addressing needs that are felt by customers. I think a second thing that data helps you do is turn an interesting observation into an actual substantial story. All brands have opinions and all company leaders have opinions. And so, reporters are used to hearing opinions right and left, but if you have actual data to back it up, that really helps prove that the trend is real. And then third, data gives you something to talk about when your company or product news is light. Most companies won't have a new product announcement every other week. And so data helps give you stories to tell when the news pipeline is slower. So you can use data to identify new trends and insights and really help drive industry conversation throughout the year.
Like I said, you and I have been working together for quite a while, and I think we've heard companies come to us and say, oh, we have lots of data you're going to be able to use. But not all data is usable data. So it's not all data is great data, right? So what does usable data look like from a PR perspective, and how does someone determine if the data they do have is something that's going to be usable in a public relations campaign?
Yeah, so I think the first thing they need to do is look at their data from the perspective of the reporter. So depending on the skeptical journalist hat, where might they identify holes or, dig into any holes to doubt the claims of the data? And ultimately, why should someone find this interesting or care about it? I think some examples of common pitfalls include having poorly worded survey questions, which ultimately compromise the integrity of the results. We see this frequently with brands, data that might just say the obvious and not really surprise or add anything new on a particular topic. Another shortcoming is when your data set is too small. If you survey 5 people, that's very different than if you survey 5,000 people. So striking that right balance in terms of size and taking advantage of the survey pool that's available to you. Another pitfall that brands face is perhaps having their questions too focused on the brand or the product and not enough on industry trends. Ultimately, reporters are looking for industry-wide stories and are not so much looking for data showing why your technology is the best ever, but how your technology is ultimately used to serve a bigger need taking place in the market.
So it sounds like surveys are kind of the way to go if you don't have original data sort of sitting inside your servers somewhere, that you can mine. It sounds like surveys are what you would recommend.
Yeah, so surveys are a really great option if you don't have great data available internally within your company. There's a lot of great third-party survey vendors. You can even run a survey of your customers or even your new business prospects, so just turning to everyone in your CRM. So that's a great option, but if you want to take a different route or cost might be prohibitive for you, an easy thing that is sometimes overlooked is the data that you're sitting on as a brand. So technology companies especially have a wealth of data within their products, and they can, if you dig deep and analyze, you can usually find some industry trends. Perhaps there's a spike in something in particular, and just really digging deeper into what's driving that, you might discover that there's a new challenge that people are facing, or something bigger happening in the industry is driving, shifting causing individuals to shift how they're using their product. I think also your CRM is a great source of data. Perhaps there's an increase in a particular use case that might indicate that the market is changing in a way that no one has anticipated or expected. And so that might be an interesting story. We've worked with some clients to analyze their revenue increases and use that to mine for industry interesting trends that speak to the changing needs of customers.
Let's see, in my head, I think original data, I think surveys, I think percents and things like that. I hadn't even thought about looking at, just going in and being able to spot trends based on what you're seeing in terms of who's approaching you and who you're working with. That's really, really interesting. Is there a company you think that does this particularly well, that uses data in a strong way?
Yeah, one of our current clients that we work with, DaVinci Payments, they do an excellent job running regular industry surveys. Their marketing team, really helps match them to what else is going on in the industry. For example, it's recently announced that we're going through a recession, and they had some interesting survey data speaking to how that's impacting retail businesses. I know, in the past, we worked with a company in the logistics space, and we would connect regularly with their a data scientist on their team and talk about different industry trends that were taking place. And this individual would then go and dig and find interesting data to support it. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, and it's just so interesting to read through the news and see what data is being shared, and then dig into how they pull that together and what the source of it is.
Well, Liz, that was everything I had for you. I thank you so much. I think, like I said at the very beginning, and we've kind of reinforced throughout this conversation, original data is such a big piece. It works really well on the content marketing side, being able to share something other people haven't seen yet, a nugget of information. And obviously it works really well on the PR side. You've given me some stuff to think about, and I'm sure given others stuff to think about too. So thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your day.
Welcome. Great to speak with you.
Thanks.